Question everything. That was the philosophy behind the Heretic Labs Article 1. What if we dropped all our preconceived notions of what an airsoft gun should be and reimagined it as a purpose-driven platform built for the modern competitive speedsoft player? We started with a full billet machine CNC receiver set from the Wolverine Airsoft MTW, and then skeletonized it, removed everything that adds weight like the stock, the rail, charging handle, and added a carbon fiber outer barrel, custom electronics, and trigger. The result is an HPA Speedsoft pistol that takes M4 magazines and weighs barely over 2 pounds. Using the MTW spec receiver results in a platform that is incredibly robust, features intrinsic alignment for maximum accuracy, and is simple to service and has nearly limitless customization options. Offering a 65% weight savings, the genuine carbon fiber outer barrel is as functional as it is beautiful. Inside the gun, the patented Gen 2 Inferno hybrid design offers unmatched simplicity and consistency with no first-round dry fire and industry-leading efficiency. The FCU features a tactile trigger switch and optimized trigger algorithms for maximum trigger feel and response, and multiple fire modes, including a new binary set. And the Article 1 comes pre-upgraded with the new Heretic Labs Speed Trigger with integrated solid bearing design for incredible feel and response. The Heretic Labs Article 1 will be shipping very soon in 3 beautiful color anodized options. The standard Midnight Black, along with limited runs of the Amethyst Purple and Torch Orange. So be sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date on all of the exciting products from Heretic Labs. These will be on sale both on our website, hereticlabsairsoft.com, and at your local dealer. So be sure to contact them to be one of the first to get the new Article 1 from Heretic Labs. The Heretic Labs Drop Stock Adapter is another exciting new product we will be offering. Made in the USA with full CNC aluminum construction and anodized finish, this drop stock is lightweight, durable, and beautiful. An innovative, swappable buffer tube base allows it to be used with either a traditional AEG body or any MTW spec platform, including the Heretic Labs Article series and any forged billet or 9mm MTW. The drop stock will be available in Midnight Black with the initial Heretic Labs release. So be sure to like, follow, and share to get all the upcoming announcements on release dates, as well as all the other exciting product releases coming soon. The Heretic Labs Speed Trigger for MTW offers next-level feel and adjustability for any MTW spec platform and comes pre-installed on all Heretic Labs Article Series guns. The innovative design includes full CNC aluminum construction on the trigger with an integrated Delrin solid bearing design, paired with a 50% lighter spring resulting in incredibly smooth action. In addition, the novel integral retaining clip allows easier installation while dramatically reducing friction. The result is a short, smooth pull with a crisp tactile feel. For advanced users, we've included support for optional 3-way travel adjustment to allow tuning to true hair trigger travel. The Heretic Labs Speed Trigger for MTW will be available in Midnight Black with the initial Heretic Labs release, with other colors to follow. So be sure to like, follow, and share to get all the upcoming announcements on release dates, as well as all the other exciting product releases coming soon. What's up, guys? Gonna go ahead and get started a couple minutes early here because I'm sitting here ready to go. So no point in waiting. It's good to be back on here. It's been a while. How's everybody doing? We got a whole list of notes for today, as well as all sorts of a bunch of stuff off camera, all sorts of stuff to talk about. But as always, we are here to answer your all's questions, talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. So if you guys have thoughts, you have questions, stuff you want to talk about, whether it's our products in particular, stuff in the industry, whatever you want to talk about, we're here for it. So throw those questions and comments on up there. We'll do our best to get to as many of them as possible. Apologize, we haven't been on much lately. It has been a crazy ride the past 4-5 months here. Lots of stuff going on that we're going to talk about. So let's see what we got as far as questions so far. See if there's anything to talk about. Can Man is on. How's it going, man? PL something Polar Star Jack user. Ty, we'll take you. Tyler, how's it going, man? I haven't seen you in ages. We gotta get out there to a game sometime. And let's see, Josh Can Man. Let's see. Predator Arms says, "Up, guys? How's it going?" He said, another comment. "Thanks for letting the fellas come down and play last weekend. No problem. I actually wanted to come down, but had some family stuff going on, so couldn't make it. But I do hope to make it down there. Predator Armory just set up a new field. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. I heard good things from my guys that went. Haven't been down there yet myself. Let's see. Does the bolt suffer from longer barrels? Not as long as you use the right spring setup. Both the Reaper and the Bolt can handle a long barrel. You just have to have the right stiffness spring for the longer barrel. Any ideas for a good fold stock for the Article 1? Not sure. So here's a random idea I'll throw out there that somebody's going to be sitting in the other room is going to be mad at me for suggesting. How do you guys like folding stocks on AR platforms? We thought about doing something to support that, a little adapter or something that you could do that. Is that popular? You guys like that? Let me know your thoughts. HPA engine for TAC 41 news. And I'm going to be honest, I haven't really prioritized that. I looked at the platform a while ago and determined it would be pretty tedious to do. It is possible to do. I'm not sure how feasible it is to do really well. And since then, we've just been prioritizing other projects. So I had a conversation with somebody about this I had a bunch of conversations about this. One of the difficult things that you may not realize about running a business is that one of the hardest things is picking the stuff you're not going to do, because there's so many options as far as what you could do. Picking the stuff you're not going to do often means you have to pick stuff that you really want to do that you're not going to do because there's other better things to do. So anyway, beer of the day. I apologize. I have at least 3 beers that people gave me for doing a live from the den beer of the day, and I forgot to put any of them in the fridge today. So that is my fault, and I apologize. But the good news is we got a Palmer Hefeweizen, right? Yeah. Making a mess. Good news is we are working on a studio right now. As you can see, this is a different setup than you guys have seen before. We've got, a little bit different setup. This is actually in our new building. Beginning right after the new year, we moved all of our assembly operation into a whole new facility. Gives a lot more space, particularly on the warehousing side, and a lot more room to grow. This is our conference room here at the new building, but we are setting up a dedicated studio for doing live from the den, for doing What the Tech videos, informational videos, all that kind of stuff. So we're gonna have some really cool stuff coming on that front, and hopefully more frequent live from the dens. Don't want to go back to trying to do it like every week or even every other week necessarily, because I think it kind of gets stale. but maybe once a month or something would be a good target to try to hit. Fairly frequently, but not so often that we just like asking the same questions every single time. Oh, a bunch of questions. Let's see. Just bought my first HPA. The MTW is a beast. Wish I got one years ago. That's pretty good. Pretty good stuff. Thanks for the shout out. Really need PTS Wolverine mags. Okay, I do have news on that actually. So we're trying to take our time on these. We released a few with the Article 1 to try to get some feedback on that. Haven't really gotten a whole lot of feedback on that, which hopefully means there's nothing catastrophically wrong. But we're trying to take our time with this and make sure that they're really, we got all the bugs sorted out, because mags are more complicated than you might think they are. But we're about to release a very limited quantity of beta testing 3-packs of the new MTW PTS mags. And what we're going to do is there'll be a special listing at a very reduced cost. No warranty stated or implied, but an opportunity to give us some direct feedback. You'll get a special link that will let you give us some feedback on the mags. Tell us whether they worked, were terrible, what problems you had, so that we can check some, we can make sure everything's good before we do a full release to everybody. And particularly, so one of the difficulties with testing is we can only do so much in-house. We can only test them with so many different brands of BBs and so many different guns and so many different, whatever. So if you're interested in doing that, we'll have a link up shortly. A very limited number of sets of 3-packs. Yeah, keep an eye on it. We'll post the link in the owners group is the plan. So, yep. Let's see. Everyone thinks folding stock for the Article 1 is a great idea. Just trying to find one that isn't $300. Yeah. So there are various Picatinny adapters that will attach. Any Picatinny adapter designed for like an AR will work. I know there's several of those out there. The folding stocks, there are a few airsoft brands. I think A&K maybe makes one. I know Lilacs makes one. Maybe a few others that could work. Still support Quake, and is there new Quake recoil coming soon? We do not have particular plans on that. We've talked about this for years, but it was not as popular as people claimed. Let's see how to say this. A lot of people said they wanted it. Not many people bought it. So we have ideas about why that is, and we have not yet come up with a new idea that we think solves the reasons that people didn't buy it previously. Would I have problems with the engine in MTW9 if I run it on 140 PSI? No. The engine will run just fine at 140. Plus, the folding stock makes it easier to stay close to the body when clearing rooms with an AR platform. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, those same questions every week got all. Definitely wasn't me asking about some kind of 416 upper. No, it definitely wasn't. How's it going, Matt? You need to drink some of your beer. I'm working on it. Dude, I'm so behind on questions. I'll sign up. For magazines. Yeah, that's how behind I am. Give me that link, man. Apparently magazines. I have MDWs so I can test. We'll be sharing the link in the owners group. The video quality is falling hard. Anybody else having video quality issues right now? You guys going to sell separate forged uppers and lowers again? That is a good question that I have no idea the answer to. Sorry. Again, with growth comes many things, but one of it is a little more division of labor. So I'd have to ask the group that does most of the, or not the group, the person that manages most of the listings and such, and see whether that's something that we want to offer, selling them separately, and ask the production team whether we have capacity to do that. Did the Miss AK Mag receiving pistol announcement from y'all? Yeah, the AK Mag pistol is just around the corner, guys. When will the tank stock for the Wraith X be released? I mean, this guy? This is a final production sample. We released these for production. Somebody would have to correct me on the timeline, but I don't think it's very long. I think we're on the order of like 1 to 2 months, maybe, till we have these in hand, but I'm not 100% certain. Really gotten really good feedback on this design so far from those that have gotten to test it out and try it. Super simple, clamps right onto the bottle with this little pressure wheel. Makes it really easy to change out. You don't have to either attach anything to the bottle itself, to, you know, one of those little sticky things that are obnoxious, or even have a tank that orients a certain way. You can use this with any old 13 cubic inch tank. Works with also works with the, sorry, brain fart, the carbon fiber 13 and 15 cubic inch tanks if you want. Which pretty cool. If you're okay with a little bit longer, you know, length of pull, 15 cubic inch carbon fiber tank. If you can actually get a 4,500 psi fill, that's like 1,500 round. No, more than that. That's like, yeah, it's going to be like 1,800 rounds on average for like 1.3 joules, give or take. That's a lot for a completely on gun supply. Pretty cool. Caslab says, long time no see. Hand pink waving. What? Sorry, not getting it. No, sorry, right over my head. I don't know what's going on. I miss seeing your shiny head, my guy. Hope to catch you at an event sometime soon. Let me know what events you're going to. I'm itching to get out and actually play an event, not go and be there publicly, but just get out and play an event. So let me know where you're going. If we can get a few guys together, maybe go hit something up and have some fun, cause some chaos, as I am wont to do. Any plan for mid caps for MTW9? Something a little more robust? Well, we haven't had particular problems with those mid caps, but we are waiting on the PTS mid caps for the 9mm. Talking with them about that. Not sure when they're coming out exactly. But yeah, excited about those. A little bit higher capacity. Supposedly should be really nice. I got so desperate I thought about trying to get a MR556 upper to modify, but they don't sell them by themselves. I can only find the complete upper from HK, and it's right around 1,700. Yeah. So yeah, that's dead for now. Yeah, sorry. I'm not allowed to talk about stuff we might do in the future anyway, or everybody gets mad at me. So can't tell you yes, no, or indifferent about any possibility for that for the future, but I feel your pain. There's so many things I wish we could do, and 416 MTW would definitely be cool. But somebody asked about the tank stock, or tank grip, reg grip. We need to decide what we're calling it. We're still having that internal discussion. I think we're on Heretic reg grip or something like that. That's this guy right here. This is not quite a final production proof. The production proofs are, I think, in the mail today. I'm not positive. I know I heard it a day or two ago that they were finished up and going to be shipped shortly. But this is a glass-filled nylon tank grip, so very lightweight. Received crazy good feedback about this from everybody that's tried one, including the guys that went down to SS Airsoft last weekend for their anniversary event. Everybody loved that. The guys at the SS were super positive about it. Houses a Cat 5 reg, is very lightweight, very comfortable grip angle. That's one thing a lot of people mentioned they really liked. Feels really good in the hand, and because we've spent the time and money on tooling, won't be exorbitantly expensive. Don't have final pricing yet, but same material you make standard AR grips out of, so very robust. And yeah, nice addition to the Heretic Labs brand lineup. The Heragrip, we talked about that, except spelling Heragrip with an AIH, so air grip. Got it? Funny story. So I don't know what we're calling it yet. Where's our MTW shotgun? Hang on, it's just in the other room. Let me go get it for you. No, I don't know. That would be pretty cool though. Let's see. Come to AMS Arsenal end of June in Butlerville, Indiana. AMS Arsenal. I did actually have that one on my list as a possibility because I think, isn't that, somebody have to correct me if I'm wrong. I think that one name's Nico is coming over for, if I remember correctly. So I was thinking maybe about going up there and playing with him. But it was on my list. Yeah, Tyler knows how the chaos I like to cause. He can. We've played together a few times. Let's see. Any reason the Scorpion 3A1 Inferno parts aren't available? You're talking about the conversion kit. Because part of the agreement with supplying ASG was that they are the exclusive buyer. They paid for the development of the electronics, so we don't sell the electronics to anybody else. That's how negotiations in business go. And you guys have been keeping me talking nonstop, so I'm going to take a drink real quick. All right, MDW 308, please, would go great with your new air tank stock design. It would be pretty slick. That one's also in the back room. Let me go get it for you. Right next to the AK. Don't worry about it. Have you fixed the issue with Article 1 boards getting stuck in firing modes? So we've seen a handful of these. It seemed like there were two different things that caused similar behavior. One was just an electronics oddity that we're still sorting out, the exact reason that it showed up in that batch. But the other we're still investigating is that it seems like if you both adjust the trigger so there's no travel on safe, so it's like sitting right up against the barrel on safe, and then accidentally force the selector like past where it's supposed to travel, which you can do if you really try it. If you do both of those things together, then that causes the white indicator to get damaged. That's our theory. We've still only seen a few cases of it, so we're having trouble nailing down exactly why, but that's what it seems like is happening. So working on a more permanent solution to that. Hopefully with batch 2, we'll have something like that implemented, but still working on it. In the meantime, it's not a huge issue. There's a handful here and there. We're just helping people out when it happens. Speaking of which, Article 1, first batch sold out in like 2 days, I think. There are a few left out there at retailers and such. If you look around hard enough, not many. There are a few that haven't sold. I have no idea. We held a few to sell on our website. No idea whether those have sold yet, honestly, because I haven't checked recently. But I know there are a few still out at that haven't been snapped up yet from the first batch. The entire second batch is in production, but it is already 100% spoken for by dealers, as far as I know. We'll see. We left some slop in there based on scrap rates and stuff, which maybe a few extras would become available. But just be aware of that when they start showing up at dealers. From when batch 2 starts showing up at dealers, don't dawdle, because that whole first batch is or whole second batch that's currently we're getting ready to start building. Parts are all machined and all that. We haven't started assembly yet. That's already all pre-sold. And we don't have an exact date on the third batch yet. So once the whole second batch sells out, we don't know exactly when the third batch is coming. So if you want one of those Heretic Labs Article 1s, don't dawdle. Have a bunch of requests for dual air kits for the MTW. Any plans you can speak of? Okay, so 2 things. One, not specific plans, but when people are asking about that, what I always ask people is, why do you want the dual air source kit? Because on the AEG, it served 2 purposes. One was just because AEGs are a lot more difficult to work. It's more difficult to change which air supply you want, whether you want the on gun or the external air supply. But then it also makes it so that you can switch on the fly. So literally while you're playing, you can just switch which one you're running. That's pretty cool. But on the MTW, only one of those things is relevant, because it's so easy to change the air supply on an MTW. You just pop the receiver apart, swap the airline, and you can switch which air supply. So you don't really have that one benefit anymore, which is one of the reasons we haven't emphasized it, because most of the people, when I've asked them, it's, I want dual air source kit. I say, okay, well, do you switch which you're running in game? And they say, no, I just like to be able to swap from one week into the next. Well, it's not really worth adding the complexity and all that kind of stuff for that type of use. You're better off just buying the stock, and then you can leave the stock on the gun even if you're not running it. Just swap the hardpoint adapter for an external airline, and you can run external air. So something to think about. Possible Bluetooth FCU. I don't know. It's on the radar. I don't have any particular plans for it. Did you already look for the possibility of an AK-12 MTW with the milled body? We have definitely looked at it. I've looked at a lot of things. I can't all the products that we do or do not plan to release, because even if I told you that I'm not going to release one, that just narrows down which ones you think I'm going to do. So I just tell you that I'm going to do all of them, and I already have them all, and they're all just sitting right back here, and I'm just being mean and not giving them to you because that's how I am. Gary Airsoft. Hi, how's it going, man? MTW FAMAS soon. Yes, I literally have the FAMAS on the wall, the gun wall right behind the camera. Sorry. I'm just too mean. Stuart says, love my Article 1, but the grip lets down the riff so much. Any plans to offer other grips? You're talking about the red grip? That's got this guy right here. The Article 1, just like the MTW, if you're just talking about a different grip, you want a different style grip for external air, any standard AR grip will fit on an Article 1. You have to drill a hole for the airline, but that's not difficult. We have instructions on how to do that. Josh, any tips on adjusting the speed trigger on the Article 1? So we posted up a video, a very quick video doing it. We tried to do a more in-depth video, but didn't feel like it actually added much. Watch the video. If that doesn't help, you could try calling the tech department and see if they can explain it to you any better. It's neither the easiest thing to explain nor the easiest thing to do, because it's a multi-point adjustment and it's kind of a rinse and repeat kind of thing. it's pretty easy to get it very short. But if you want it like crazy, stupid, hair trigger, no movement, hardly at all level, that's just kind of trial and error, getting it tuned right where you need it. I don't personally recommend that. I don't find that it's functional. I don't even personally like it. I like having just enough travel, at least so that you can feel the switch click and unclick and have a little tactile feedback. But that's me personally. You do what you want to do. Looking at the Heretic Article 1, love it, but just wondering, if I wanted to run it in a sim game, can I put some MTW rail on it to make it look the part? Yes, you can. You have two options for that. One is to replace the whole barrel and rail with an MTW barrel and rail. That will work just fine. Article 1 is an MTW spec platform. Okay, it's not an MTW. Obviously, MTW is our sort of mil spec style, platforms, or mil sim style platforms, I should say. But you can swap the whole barrel and rail. The receiver spec is all interchangeable, or any of our rails that clamshell attachment, so like a Mark 1 or our Invictus M-Lock rails, any of the ones that clamshell have a slot on the bottom and clamp, can be attached onto the base of the carbon fiber barrel. Ooh, look what I got here. So this is another example of our, I don't know whether this has anything in it. I shouldn't shoot the camera. Okay, no battery. Sounds good. Clamp. This is the same diameter as our barrel nut. So if they clamshell, they can just clamp on there, and you can have the carbon fiber barrel with a rail on the outside. The ones that use set screws will not work. Don't want to do that. So, but there is the gun, Article 1 in torch orange with the tank grip, red grip. So let's see. Got rid of my dual air source. Gave too much swap there, so allowed me to cheat, but having different output pressures. True, there is that. Some fields are funky about that. Spartan 2 board with Bluetooth and app. I don't know if that's a Spartan board at that point, but I get what you're saying. The PTS mags are normally 130 round capacity. I don't find the going to higher capacity to be a good idea in general. There's just too much propensity for, and this is actually true. It's more the case with an HPA system, but definitely the case with even AEGs as well. You go to really high capacity mid caps, and the spring force at the beginning of the mag is just so high, it starts causing weird issues. So 130, we could have maybe gone 150, but I find that to be about the sweet spot in terms of capacity versus sort of forgiveness with different types of BBs and all that kind of stuff. John Wick Terran Tactical MTW would be really cool. That would be pretty freaking cool. I was just watching a video about. Actually, I went to see John Wick the other day. Sorry. So gutted they're not in New Zealand. I feel like we've shipped a few to New Zealand, but not sure. Where do you see the Article 1 going in the near future as far as different adaptations and such? So the reason it's called the Article 1 is because it is the first configuration. The idea is in the future, we will have different article numbers. So Article 2 could have a different configuration set of options installed on it. Article 1's been really popular. I don't foresee it really disappearing anytime real soon, but we'll have to see how it goes.
Hello from Holland. Is there a silencer from MTW in the future? So you can use any standard cream-filled banana, as we call them. But being in the U.S., people are super finicky about having silencers that functionally act, suppress the sound of the, even though it is just a toy. The ATF is finicky about that, so it's difficult to justify taking the risk. So I could keep the carbon fiber already there and put a rail around it if need be. You could with the correct rail. Do be aware that you probably will have to shorten the screws on your M-lock, depending on how long your M-lock attachments, depending on how long the screws they send are. There's a good chance you'll have to trim them down to make it fit. Any plans to bring back the mil-spec MTW full mechanical? Not specifically at this point. I know there are people that really like it. We've had, again, going back to what I said earlier, one of the really hard things about, for me, running a business is picking things you're not going to do, because there are lots of really good things to do, really fun things and good products, but you can't do everything, and you have to pick which things you're going to focus on and which things you're not. And right now, the mil-spec is one that we've decided to de-emphasize. We offer the standalone engine, but in order to just focus on the best things, we've eliminated some other things. But I never say never, but right now it's not on the schedule to relaunch it. What is the best barrel upgrade for MTW? Again, I'll always tell people, please use your gun stock first before you decide whether or not you want to mess with it. But as far as barrels, I do like PDI barrels. I tend towards the 601 or the 603 rather than 605, but all of them are, in general, are very good. When is the tank grip coming out? Probably pretty soon, but I don't have a definite date. We are still waiting on the final. This is the first item off the tool, and there were a couple changes we requested to it. So still waiting to get the proof of the changes, and then we'll get a production batch made, and then we can get them on out there. Secondary slot. Jamie, I've had issues with the secondary slot on the Spartan board not working. It seems the A7 SMD diode has blown. Anything we can do about that? If you want support on that, you can contact tech support. I've never seen that happen. I suppose it's possible. There's lots of misunderstanding on that. It only puts out a pulse. It doesn't put out like a continuous voltage signal. So sometimes people think that it's not working, and it was designed for working with a recoil system. So it's just a pulse. It's not a continuous voltage level. So yeah, that just check that and make sure you're. EPM1 broke my BB retention arm. I'm over the mid caps over 150 BBs. No point in the higher rate of fire. Yes, that's basically more. It causes weird issues on a lot of guns, and I get why people like it, but I don't think the trade-off is worth it, in my opinion. Tank grip is polymer. It is a glass-filled nylon, so same material as most AR grips and accessories are made out of. Very durable, very robust, but also lightweight, and trying to make it something that is a more accessible price point, so it's not making the whole thing, tremendously expensive. Let's see. Right, sorry, going through my list here. IWA 2023. Could talk about that. Had a really good show. Tons of interactions with y'all. Thanks for the support. Lots of good feedback on a lot of different things. I don't know that there's much more to say about that. I want to talk about the location move. Right, seats are included in category 5. Oh, yeah. Do you have a refresh rate number? I don't know how you would possibly quantify that. What number do you want? There's no, we have done massive amounts of testing, but having one like metric, one number that will tell you, oh, the refresh is this good. I have not developed myself or seen anybody else suggest a way to develop a single number to measure that, because it varies by so many things. By the pressure the rate is set at, the pressure, the output pressure on your tank, how much air is in your tank, I think I already said the set pressure of the regulator, how much volume you have between your regulator and your gun. I will tell you that every regulator pretty much that I've ever tested, and certainly our regulators, will run better, believe it or not, the less volume there is between the engine and the gun. Varies by that, varies by how much air the system is using. Believe it or not, the less air the system uses, the harder it is for the regulator to refresh. So having one metric that says, hey, it refreshes this well is like, I don't know how I could possibly answer that for you. I will say that when we when we did our testing, we did extremely extensive testing in a test group of regulators. On average, the Cat 5 outperformed our previous storm design on refresh across the board. That does not mean that the worst performing in the group was better than the best performing in the group of the other, but the average performance was notably different between the two across the spectrum of tests we did. Well, I'm not going to make a comment on the direct comparison to a competitor of a competitor's product, especially when, as I just mentioned, it's so hard to like truly quantify that. So I don't want to say something. I don't want to say something inaccurate, but I will tell you that across the board, I've never seen a regulator that performs better. Just on average. Now, that's my observation. You can take it for what it's worth as the guy that is both designed it and is selling it. But I mean, that said, there are lots of, if you have a current storm regulator, do you have to upgrade? You don't have to. But what I tell people is the gun can't outperform the regulator. You can never get better performance out of your gun than what your regulator is able to do. So if you want the best that we have to offer, and I would argue the best that is on the market, then the Cat 5 is what you want. If you have an existing storm regulator and you're perfectly happy with the performance, then I'm not going to try to convince you to buy something that you don't see a need for. Do we still upgrade the app, the Bluetooth app? No, we're not able to do that. Bluetooth stopped supporting the chip that we were using, and so we're stuck in the past. If you're having issues, we will be happy to help you out and find a way to get your gun back up and running as best we can. But Bluetooth kind of screwed us. Just saying. Have you given any thought to opening warehouse center in the EU? We definitely have thought about that, but I don't have any particular information for you. We've thought about a lot of things. So Holy cow, guys, it's been 50 minutes. Oh, no. Okay, I've only been on for 40 minutes. That makes me feel better. That's right. It was running beforehand. All right. What else we got? All right. Let me take a look at this. Here's something we haven't shown you guys yet. I think we've mentioned this, but I haven't actually shown it to you. So this is a Inferno Gen 2 Heretic Labs edition. So this is a collaboration with Blackleaf Airsoft. We worked with them to develop a Speedsoft specific trigger board. The FCU has different firmware, binary setting, all that kind of stuff, different stuff that we did on the firmware side, as well as on the trigger to give you a tactile trigger, feel on the Heretic Labs version of the Gen 2 Inferno. So this is for all of your V2 gearbox aftermarket builds. So excited about getting that one out there. Been a while since we've done something on the aftermarket side. We've been focusing a lot on MTW and all that. So nice update for those of you that are wanting to do your own build on a V2 gearbox. This is sort of our dedicated Speedsoft tuned version of the Gen 2 Inferno. So really excited about that, getting that out there, coming pretty freaking soon. All right. One other comment. We've gotten questions. Back to the Category 5 regulator real quick. One of the nice features about the Category 5 is that the reg seat is user serviceable. You can see it. We've gotten some questions about what that guy is in the O-ring kit. The O-ring kits now come with a replacement reg seat. If you ever wear it out, you really shouldn't unless you get like something sharp in there, get some metal or something in there that damages. It really should last a very long time. But if you need to, instead of having to get a whole replacement little assembly to replace that, it's just a replacement seal that can drop right in. So pretty good stuff. Nice feature. Again, one of the goals was with the Cat 5 design was to make it as user friendly as possible. So making that serviceable was definitely a nice improvement. Oh, you guys seen these? We've had these at a few events. These are our dead rags. We got Cuddles there knocked out with little birdies flying over his head. If we're at an event, come by and grab one. We usually have them at the table. You can grab one for free, but pretty good stuff. Let's see what else. I have MT4W Forge, not optical board. Is there a way to update the firmware of the premium FCU to have binary? I don't know whether we're going to ship out that firmware or not. We have not discussed that yet, so I don't have an answer for you on that. Let's see. In an early 2022 Forge with the mechanical fire selector switch, the advanced trigger board has an optical fire select sensor. Were there any other upgrades to the trigger board or just the sensor? Is it worth upgrading? As long as you don't damage the switch on your old trigger board, you're perfectly fine. The going to the optical sensor, was purely to avoid people damaging their board, because we provided instructions on how to disassemble it so that you wouldn't damage your board, but stuff happens and people were damaging the switches anyway. So going to the optical avoided that issue, and that's the only reason. So if it's working well and you know how to disassemble it so that you don't break it, you should be perfectly fine. I have the MTW from the first release, and I'm still happy with it. I have now 2 of them. Thanks for the great replicas that you built. We do our best. Thank you for the support. We can't do it without you guys. I will say that over and over again. It's kind of a crazy life I live, running around doing a million different things, but I only am able to do those things because of your all support. So I appreciate it more than you guys can imagine. I've been able to pay the family's bills for going on 10 years now with running this business, and it's only because of what you all do. So I appreciate it. Have a good holiday, Rich and crew. I'm going to jet to the electric dirt bike. Yo, I want an electric dirt bike. I rode one of those out in Vegas, and it was awesome. Take care, and I missed tossing out non-realistic ideas. What is the most quiet engine? Arguably, the Reaper is slightly quieter than the Gen 2 Inferno in either the mechanical or the electrical configuration, but only slightly. Either one can be exceptionally quiet if it's set up correctly. Can you OEM? I can OEM a lot of things. I'm not sure what your question is. We can OEM a lot of stuff. All right. So I think I went over everything I need to. I'm going to try to keep it to about 45 minutes, not much more. I think I hit all the high points. Again, we will do this again next time. Hopefully, we will be in a new studio and be able to show you all you guys the new stuff. And yeah, I think that's about it. Have a good one, guys.